Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a holiday inspired get ready with me. So I already went ahead and did my moisturizer off camera as well as my eyeshadow primer. Today I used my MAC Painterly paint pot like always. So in today's video, I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. This palette has been getting so much like mixed reviews, but I'm obsessed with it. As you guys see, it has a bunch of shades that are pretty much a metallic finish as well as a bunch of matte shades. I'm just obsessed with this palette. So I'm going to be going into the shade Bossy with my Sephora Collection Pro Brush number 86, and as you see, I'm just kind of applying that in the inner corner of my eyelid area, and then I'm kind of lightly buffing it into my crease. And then after I pretty much do this to the inner corner, I'm going to do the exact same thing to the outer corner. I'm going to lightly kind of tap a little bit on, and then lightly kind of soften the color into my crease. So I'm just continuing to build up that shade Bossy. You can pretty much make it as dark as you want or as light as you want. You can kind of get inspiration from this video or you can copy it all the way. But I'm just kind of lightly adding more, blending it out, adding more, blending it out like usual. And then we are going to do the exact same thing to the other side. I like to do both eyes at the same time because if I do one eye at a time, I low-key like sometimes forget steps. So I like to do it step by step on each eye so I don't forget any steps. How many times did I just say the word steps? Also, you guys, I kind of find it funny how some people don't like the quality of these matte eyeshadows. I mean, for me, I feel like they perform beautifully. They work very well. I mean, of course, you have to build them up to get them 100% saturated, but I have, like, no complaints at all. So let me know what you guys think about this palette if you've tried it already. Next, I'm going to go into the shade Flamingo, which is a really pretty bright pink. I'm going to use my Morphe M433. I'm going to be applying that all throughout my crease just to help me get Bossy blended out a little bit further. So next I'm taking another clean blending brush. This is the Morphe M505. I'm just kind of using a clean brush to help me get this blend out a little bit further and make it a little bit more airbrushed and diffused. And now the moment we've all been waiting for, it is time for the foiled eyeshadow. So I'm going to be using this very pretty gold one called 24K. And as you see, I'm using my finger. It is best to use your finger for these metallic shadows. If you use a brush, you will not be happy with them. If you need to, you can always get your finger wet or you can just use your dry finger, but I feel like when you get your finger wet, it applies it a little bit more pigmented. But as you see, I'm just saturating this gold literally all over my lid area. I'm being cautious and staying below my creases so I don't make it too messy and too sloppy. To add a little bit more depth in the outer corner, I'm going to go back to that same brush from earlier, the number 86 from Sephora Collection with the shade Bossy. I'm going to saturate that a little bit more in the outer corner and then go back to my Morphe M433 and get those edges diffused. So moving on to my complexion, I'm going to be using my Benefit Professional Primer. I don't always use a primer, but I'm trying to go through this one because I've had it for quite a while now, and I don't want it to expire. So I'm going to be applying that all over my face, and then I'm going to go in with two different foundations today. I'm going to be using my Cover FX Natural Finish Foundation, as well as my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. I'm using a little Cover FX palette that I got recently, and I'm mixing the two colors together on the palette, of course, as you guys can see. This is a really good way to get the best of both worlds with foundations that you love, so if you have not tried mixing your foundations before, you need to try it. It's truly game-changing with makeup. So as you see, I'm just applying this all over my face, and I'm going in with a different brush that, I don't know if you guys have seen me use this brush before on camera, but I've had it for quite a while now. It's from Sephora Collection. It's the Pro Airbrush Blender number 78. I would highly recommend it if you want a very, very good full coverage. If you want light coverage, do not get this brush. This is a very good full coverage brush. As you guys can see, it just like packs all the pigment in one area and gives you that full coverage glam. So for my under eyes, I'm going to be using this new Smashbox Studio Skin Concealer, which I got recently. I love this one so much. It has such a good coverage to it, and it is waterproof, so how could you beat that? It's amazing. So to brighten it up a little bit more, I'm going to add a little bit of this Sephora Collection Gel Serum Concealer. This is in the lightest color, so I usually will always add a little bit of this to kind of add more highlight to my under eye area. And as you see, I'm kind of adding a little bit to my forehead to highlight, and then after I get all of these designs drawn, because, you know, why not have fun with it and make a little picture, I'm going to be using the Sephora Collection Pro Contour Highlight Brush number 80, and I'm going to get all of these concealer colors blended together so I don't look as crazy. Also, if you guys are wondering why I'm not using my beauty blender, I'm trying to just change it up a little bit because I usually always use that sponge, as you guys know, and I love it, but I feel like lately I haven't been getting the coverage that I really want, so I'm trying to do it old school and only use brushes, and I low-key have been kind of happy with my makeup lately. I feel like I'm getting the coverage that I actually want. I feel like with the sponge, a lot of times I see a little bit of my redness poking through still. So I don't usually always cream contour, but today I decided to just for fun. So I used my Bobbi Brown Stick Foundation as my contour. I went ahead and applied it to my cheekbones as well as my forehead. And then to get everything blended out, I'm going to be using my damp beauty blender. And then to clean up the bottom line of my contour, I'm using that same Sephora Collection concealer, and as you see, that just like totally cut it and sharpened up those cheekbones like they should have been. And then after this, I'm going to be using the best translucent powder in the world. If you haven't tried it, you need to run to Walgreens right now or go to like thedrugstore.com or whatever, any website you can probably buy it from. This is the best setting powder though, the Coty Airspun. As you see, I am using my beauty blender just to pack all that powder under my eyes. This is a really good tip if you really don't want to look dry and cakey. Don't use a brush for your powder, use a little bit of a damp sponge, and it kind of just helps the powder mold into your skin and not look as cakey and like it's sitting on the top layer of your skin. Now that all my liquids and creams are set, I'm going to be using some Studio Fix powder from MAC to get a little bit more coverage. I'm using the Morphe M177 brush to apply that. I don't honestly like this brush. It's kind of too fluffy for me. I feel like it's kind of hard to get full coverage. And then I'm adding a little bit more of that shade Bossy from the Huda Beauty palette on my bottom lash line to get my bottom lash line going. I'm using that same Sephora Collection brush 86. And then after I get most of it applied, I'm going to be using that same brush from earlier, the clean one, just to get it softened out and diffused. And then I'm going to add a little bit of Flamingo to the bottom lash line as well, just to get it diffused out a little bit further. And then once that is blended, I'm going to go into the color Bay with my Morphe B80. I'm going to apply a lot of that to the inner corner because I want my inner corner highlight to be blinding. And then for my face contour, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Powder Contour Kit. I'm using the Sephora Collection Blush Brush number 49. And I'm applying these three colors all over my cheekbones. And then I'm going to put a little bit onto my forehead as well. And then for my highlight, I'm going to be adding the Wet n Wild and Fergie collaboration highlight in the color Rose Champagne Glow. And I'm applying that using my favorite highlighter brush, which is the Morphe 510. And then after I applied this highlighter, I felt like I wanted my cheeks to be more glowy. So I went ahead and grabbed my Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit. And then I went and added this beautiful white highlight called Pink Heart. I added a lot of this because I wanted to make my cheeks look as glowy as humanly possible. So I went ahead and quickly did my eyebrows off camera. I used my Anastasia Dip Brow as well as my brow powder. And then after, I'm going to go ahead and apply my tight line eyeliner. I'm using my favorite eyeliner. It's the Marc Jacobs Genius Gel Black Eyeliner. It's the best in the world. And then after getting this eyeliner applied, I'm going to go ahead and apply some mascara. Today I'm using the Smashbox X-Rated Mascara. Like, look at my lashes. Look at how good this makes my lashes look. This is a great mascara. If you guys have not tried it yet, you need to go get your hands on it. It's been one of my absolute favorite mascaras lately. Alrighty, so last step for this look is going to be lips, so I'm going to start with my lip liner. First, I'm using the NYX Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Deep Red. I'm just going to kind of do the whole lip line, of course, and then the outskirts of my lip. And then after I get this lip liner on, I'm going to be using the Jeffree Star Cosmetics new lip ammunition in the shade Unicorn Blood. Oh my god, you guys, this color is like the inside of my soul. I love Unicorn Blood so much. So yeah, this is the final look. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. I love you guys so much, and I really cannot thank you guys enough for watching. I will see you in my next video.